A Cat Stevens song called Wild World. Mr. Big Read it. It's 10:35 in the morning. Sonnal Pardiwala is here for two reasons. One is fan for the first time. A collection of blog posts is the first collection of blogs to make it into book form. She's in the LIMCA Book of Records. Plus, she's homeschooled both her kids. And Shahen Pardiwala, her elder son, was just on talking about how he's used his experiences to create a web series on bLOGiMLY, which is something that we're exploring right now. It's called Me Thinks. Okay, reactions, fan reactions to the book first. Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Okay. When these blogs were out, they were totally a free-for-all. And so that time there were like a lot of happy comments and all. But the moment it was converted into a book and put on the kind of I had both type of reactions coming in. I would focus more on the positive ones. It's like the first question Faisal Khan had asked me that will anybody ever read such a book? So the fans began to answer that. Fans actually have gone all the way doing things. First they would like, oh no, we can't buy this book. How can we? Because it is a comfortable book and priced a little high. So for the fans and all that, it was a big shock that it has been converted into a book. But then I had lovely souls connecting, buying the book. We had some people from even United States paying the extra freight charge and having the book. And actually putting up reviews on Instagram that how the book is affecting them. So even till today, whenever they miss that show, they want to like open the book and they still tweet back and tell me. Like we had like this first anniversary celebration when we had put the book up for sale or for launch. So till date, like there is this whole horde of people writing in and telling me that how much they adore the book and what a great work I have done. Personally, some of the reactions also were like, oh, she's looking for publicity. And, I don't know what's so wrong with publicity. There's nothing. Mm-hmm. So that's that basically. But I've had a magical journey over the book. And so many people all over the globe, I think, are connecting and talking to me. And they want the book. We try our best. Mostly in India, yes. But when overseas, it becomes a little with the freight and transfer and all. But we'll try and connect to each and everyone who really, really wants the book. It's on Flipkart. It's on pothi.com, Pothi.com. Yes. For overseas, it's pothi.com. In India, it's Flipkart, yes.
Homeschooling your child. What were teachers' reactions? And you were telling me about an interesting reaction from your father. So tell me about that.
We've had interesting reactions. So the day we decided, okay, that's it. We are opting out of school. We took the leaving certificate and things like. So naturally, we went to tell my mom and dad that, look, this is what we've decided. And my dad, like very slowly and softly, if there is a problem, financial problem, like I can help you. And I was like, no dad, there's not the issue here. It's not money. So for people, it was like, I had warned my husband also that they normally speak a certain word, that nikal diya school se types. So I had to tell that, no dad, it's like, it's a personal choice we are making. Then when we went to the school on the day when we had this report to be taken, we had diverse reaction, like the teacher asking us, where will you do homeschooling? So it was like, homeschooling, you'll do it at home. Yeah. And then there was this another parent turned up and it's like, because my kids are quite popular wherever they go. So it's like, aisa hota hai? How can you like, how it is possible? So we had to like, at that time, even for us, it was all new. So it was too early to answer. But then we've had people asking us, what is the fees for homeschooling? Fortunately, there are no fees for homeschooling. It is great on your budget. Anybody who wants to consider it, it's a wonderful thing. But that was not the reason why we homeschooled. So we had people like, your kids will become so lazy. That was a calling that we had to take because none of us, only for today, especially for Rishikesh, we have seen 6 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, we never get up before 10 o'clock.
Babash.
Yes, we, as a family.
But this is really a dummy question, because there are lots of people out there who don't know. So, private candidates, which are the schools that allow them to sit for examinations?
See, there are lots
homeschool candidates.
Lots of options. Starting with the more easiest one is, let's say, the Cambridge, the IGCSE. They are open to homeschooling. So there is this one is Rustamji. You can meet Tanya Walecha. She is a wonderful soul. She'll guide you like anything. Rustamji offers private candidates gets a chance to give through IGCSE. Another is Poddar. Okay, and but that is slightly expensive because naturally it's a foreign board. ICSE doesn't allow you. If you want to know more, I think you should be looking at all those homeschooling blogs we have done. But this year only we discovered that since Shahen had his 7th standard certificate, the leaving certificate, he was eligible to apply for the state board. So that way we are a little patriotic that okay, if my board allows it, then I am going for with my state board. So if there are these people who have the minimum requirement for SSC board, I think is 4th standard certificate, and after that you can opt for the 10th standard.
So Cambridge is allowed.
Yeah.
State board is allowed.
Yes.
Yeah.
State board provided your child
Yeah.
has at least got education till standard 4th, I think.
Okay. Allowed till standard 4 if
Yeah.
you've studied till then.
Yeah.
And ISC, ICSE not as yet.
No, ICSE doesn't allow private candidate. And then another option which is not very expensive again is NIOS. It's a central one. But for that, you don't need any, minimum or basic requirement.
NIOS.
NIOS, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that is a good curriculum, but I don't know. If I had a choice, I always would go with the state board because
Correct.
I am very passionate about the whole thing that wherever you are, you must be belonging to that.
Absolutely. Messages in back with Sonnal Pardiwala, Shahen Pardiwala. We're talking homeschooling and a book that's made the LIMCA Book of Indian Records, 1042.
94.3 Radio 1.
Lisa Loeb, the folk rocker from Manhattan, 1053, our last leg of conversation with Sonnal Pardiwala, the authoress, as well as the homeschooling mom, and Shahen Pardiwala, who's a visual blogger, if I can call him that, and homeschooled kid.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Radio 1.
So Shahen, this wonderful episode which you've put out on Me Thinks on
Yes.
bLOGiMLY,
Thank
on
you so
trolling
much.
science, the latest episode. So give us a brief thing of that, on trolling science.
Okay, so the basic idea behind trolling science or trolling history and geography for that matter, which came up in episode number 4, was that while studying, there are things that bore us. Like for students, the syllabus at times tends to get boring. So the thing is, like, I thought that what can make it interesting for students. So the key is that have fun, add humor in everything. So the tagline is that tough times don't last, but the people who see the humor in it, they do. So yes, so find the humor in it. So in trolling science, the idea is not to ridicule the subject or ridicule the syllabus. The idea is to make it more interesting and at the same time raising pertinent questions. So now
Yes, as a parent, I think I never looked at that side of it.
Continue.
okay,
Sorry.
yes, and so here's one science troll from the video just for Hrishi K at 94.3 Radio 1.
Nice one. Go.
Yes, so there's this experiment from the book. Remove a tungsten wire from a bulb and try to ignite it. What do you observe? Now, is this actually possible for someone at home? Like, so the thing is, I observe my dad shouting at me, "What are you doing with that bulb?" Because that is what is going to happen. Like, which child can actually remove a tungsten wire from a bulb and ignite it? So while studying, if you like pick up these things and laugh on them, then that makes it easier to do the syllabus and stuff.
Wonderful. And Dabba the film, I mean, it's something that you and your brother have starred in. That's also up at bLOGiMLY, right? Yeah.
Yes, that is on bLOGiMLY, and that was officially our first short film, shot technically beautifully, the best one, and the directed, written, edited by my dad, Sonnal Pardiwala. Like mom already said, he's the mastermind behind bLOGiMLY. So that is where I and Shahen got introduced as actors at bLOGiMLY. And yes, Dabba was a great one, and we got a wonderful response of acting, editing, direction. Everything was applauded. And one thing we realized was that before Dabba, we made a short film called Scream, which also had Shahen in it. He was the one.
Which is his younger brother, for those of you who tuned in late. Yeah.
My younger brother. So Scream we submitted for a competition, and we didn't get any response. So one thing we realized was that it is not just about the response and winning competitions. It is also about getting the audience to see it, so that it touches the audience somewhere and they like it. So yes, that was Dabba.
Fantastic. Parting thoughts, Sonnal, before you say bye to us.
Yes, I would like to thank a few people Number one, Nozer, thank you so much for believing in this book, making it a book, and getting it to LIMCA Book of Records, making it available everywhere. Without your support, this would have never been possible. I would have never dreamed that far. I would have blogged and left it at that. Secondly, I would like to thank Abhimanyu Singh from Contilo. He really supported the book. Another person I would like to thank is Faisal Khan, because he also supported the book. He made his Insta space available for fans to sort of put up the selfies of the book and really honored the fans. And lastly, I would like to thank all the lady logs who are there on Twitter, on Instagram for those lovely reviews and supporting my creation. Thank you so much. And I thank Rishikesh also for making my book known. Anybody who honors my book, I love them.
Lovely. And your blog post where people can read your blog?
Yes, it's angelsdivinelight.blogspot.com.
Repeat again.
Yeah, it's angelsdivinelight.blogspot.com.
Pradeep Nagpal, alternative way of parenting, alternative way of life, alternative thought process. Growth is the key, journey of life more interesting. Thanks very much for that comment. Shahzad Parik on Twitter, no problems with homeschooling. Your guest said she did a 360 in her position. That means one circle. Perhaps she meant a 180. She actually meant 360.
Yes, okay.
Thank you, Shahen. Cheers.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Yeah.
before we sign off, there's just one way we sign off at meetings every time I sign off. So what you basically do is you curl your index finger and the central finger,
Okay.
you get it near your lips, and then you do.
Okay.
So
My
that's
mics
how we
have
sign
survived
off.
that. Avril Lavigne, girlfriend, up ahead, Matthew Hogarth talking about last night's T20 Premier League action.